I'm just a guy with a fake foot, and we're going to be talking about VA claims for foot pain today. I just filed a claim and said foot pain or something like that, and then the VA went into my records and they used the X-rays and they came up with something called Metatarsalgia, and that falls under diagnostic code 5279, and that is the only scheduler rating for metatarsalgia. It's 10%, and it doesn't matter if it's unilateral or bilateral, so in one foot or the other. So in all reality, I did pretty good for being clueless, because I walked in there and said foot pain. The doctor evaluated me, watched me kind of hobble around and stuff, did an X-ray, saw some arthritis build up around the bones that were broken, diagnosed me with metatarsalgia, and gave me the max rating, even though the max rating was 10%. So I actually did pretty good for being completely clueless. All right, so after I got my rating, I didn't really think about going to a podiatrist. I didn't really understand the process. So my foot hurts. I file a claim. I go to a C&P exam, which I didn't know that was a C&P exam at the time. I ended up with a 10% rating, and I thought that was basically the end of it. I wasn't aware that my feet would get worse, and they were worse at the time. I just didn't know how to explain it. And I didn't know that I should have been going to a podiatrist and digging into it and finding out all the different conditions that were going on in my feet, because it was more than just the broken toes. So this may be where you're at right now. You may have a 10% rating for broken toes or something in your feet, and your feet are bothering you, and you're trying to figure this stuff out. So I will share with you that you should get into a podiatrist. They are foot specialists, and they have the knowledge and training and all that kind of stuff to actually diagnose you with the condition that you have, which will be extremely helpful for your VA claim. And then they can actually diagnose you and then, attempt to solve the problem. They can do the taping. They can do the arch supports, get custom molds and all that kind of stuff. They could order all that stuff. And along with that stuff comes billing and these types of things. And these all add up to a diagnosis and a diagnostic code. And these are the types of things you're going to need in your medical records when you file your claim. So basically, after I filed my first claim, I failed to understand the whole concept of a treating doctor. So I took the 10% rating and I just pushed through the pain. That's what we're taught to do in the military. Suck it up and move forward. A few years later, I got a sharp pain in my foot and it was burning. And again, I tried to ignore it, but, I was taking painkillers at the time, so that might have helped a little bit, but it just didn't go away. And eventually, I think my wife at the time was like, you need to go see a podiatrist again. So somehow or another, I got my butt to the doctor, which is, what we're talking about here. You need to go see a doctor. So this time I actually went to a podiatrist that was a treating physician, and I learned that in addition to the metatarsalgia, the broken toes, I also had flat feet, right, and plantar fasciitis. I actually have it up here on the plantar fascia tissue, but it happens back here in the heel too, usually right there. And this is where they give you shots most of the time as well. But you could actually have it anywhere here, and they're going to call it plantar fasciitis for the purpose of VA claims. So the podiatrist taped me up, and then he gave me a boot to wear in the shower. And I didn't know how long this process was going to go, but he taped up my foot. How's it feel? It still hurts. All right, well, I want you to come back in 4 days and, tell me where you're at. So I did it for 4 days, no improvement. He's like, all right, I did one style of taping. Now I'm going to try a different style. And he's just, they're taping it so your foot, whatever, straightens out or twists or whatever. There's different types of taping jobs that a podiatrist will use on you. And it was actually the third tape job that he taped me up. I came back 4 days later and I was like, wow, it actually has removed it from, severe to moderate severe. So it never actually made it better, but it took that super severe pain out. And then I stayed in that mode for about a month, I think. So I would come back every 4 days. He'd retape me up. I'd shower with the boot on. You can't get it wet. And then once he found something that worked, then he got molds made of my feet and gave me custom arch supports to, kind of help with this stuff. So in the process, again, this is where the podiatrist comes in. He's able to call out plantar fasciitis and flat feet and metatarsalgia. And he was explaining that they are all linked together and they're in my feet. So I could do that on my own, but I'm just a layman veteran. Having the podiatrist do it as well, that's rock solid medical evidence. And that's the kind of medical evidence you're going to need if you want to win your VA claim right out of the gate. I mean, it's possible to do it without it. But, why do it the wrong way when you know the right way to do it, right? Let me jump in here real quick and tell you about my boot camp. If you want to learn more about the VA claims process, check out my boot camp. You can talk to me live. There's a link on the website and in the description, combatcraig.com. And also, if you need medical evidence like a nexus or documenting your symptoms properly, go to our website, combatcraig.com, and it says medteam/nexus letters. Click on that link, fill out the form, boom, you're done.